NAACP Los Angeles President Leon Jenkins has resigned in the aftermath of negative publicity related to the fact that the LA chapter of the civil rights group had given disgraced Clippers owner Donald Sterling an award in 2009 and was set to give him a second award despite lawsuits alleging racist discriminatory practices. Mr. Jenkins is saying that he does not want his decision to reward Sterling to harm the reputation of the NAACP, but is it too late? Public relations expert Mike Paul, also known as the Reputation Doctor, is here to discuss the impact on the NAACP brand. Mike, this is one of the oldest civil rights groups in history, which has done a lot of great work, but how badly does this situation impact the NAACP brand?
I think it impacts the NAACP brand pretty badly. I think it not only takes a direct hit at the Los Angeles chapter, ironically in a city that has historically had racial discrimination issues for years, but it also has a lot of mud on the national chapter, the leadership itself of the national organization. And the reason why that's so important is you must vet those who associate with you very carefully. Your reputation is everything. They know that. It has the appearance as though they were willing to turn a blind eye for money, and that's not a reputation you want to be associated with.
Yeah, and Mike, it's come out over the past few days that Mr. Jenkins, he had been disbarred from practicing law and had other controversies. Even if the award was being given by the NAACP's LA chapter, doesn't the national organization need to bear some of the responsibility because they approved him as a leader?
Not only some of the responsibility, a great deal of the responsibility. As you say, they picked him as a leader. They need to be on top of his activities. They need to be on top of those who are getting awards throughout every chapter in the country. Obviously, when there's a national organization, your local chapters matter. That is the framework of who you are.
Mike, what does the NAACP need to do to recover from this?
If I were advising the NAACP, if they were my client, I'd be telling them this has affected you in a big way. You can't just try and pass it off by saying that Jenkins is gone and that the problem is gone, because there's some lingering mud that's still on the face of the NAACP national chapter itself. And one of the things they should say is simply this: we did a poor job in vetting not only our leader, but those who are associated with our organization in LA. We're going to make sure that we look at every chapter, every local chapter throughout the country, including our national chapter, to make sure this doesn't happen again.
In this economy, it's got to be tough for nonprofits in general to raise money. So how important is it for nonprofits in general to get out in front of situations like this that really have the potential to blow up in the public?
The NAACP, if they were my client, I'd tell them you got to start working the phones immediately. And the only thing that's going to help you to repair your reputation is a position of humility, transparency, and accountability. And if they're not putting those three together, they're going to lose some major donors.
Mike, you know, what's really interesting about this is they were founded in 1909. A lot has changed. There's a sense kind of skepticism towards civil rights groups that have a tradition that are rooted, you know, kind of mainly in protest, since most modern civil rights leaders have adopted a model of collaboration. And let's face it, we have a black president, so people may not feel that there's any need for a group like this. Is that a challenge for the NAACP?
Well, I certainly do think that there's a need for groups like that. We obviously see the president having a very close relationship with Al Sharpton and his organization, for example, and we also know that there are other organizations that he has close relationships with.
But I guess, does this undermine that? From the public standpoint?
Oh, of course it does. I mean, the bottom line is the stakeholders from the public are those who are voicing their concerns right now. They've got to work those phones. They've got to start with that humble message, though, that says it stops with me. Whoever the organization's leader is today must get out in front of it and say, it starts with me, the buck stops here.
You think they can recover?
I think they can recover, but if they're not going to utilize these tools, they're going to have a whisper campaign that's going on not only around this country, quite frankly, but around the world, as in we saw clear evidence in LA that it appears that you're doing business with someone that you know is the opposite of the goals and the missions of the NAACP. Was money the only reason why you did that? And are there other issues and other chapters, even in your national chapter, that need to be addressed?
All right, Mike Paul, the reputation doctor, thank you very much.